My favorite is I'm not that kind of orc.
Me not that kind of orc.
Hey Geeks, Arahli here, and welcome to World of Warcraft Classic. So, y'all may not know this, but I did play World of Warcraft back in the day. I actually came in right after Burning Crusades had launched, and I played for quite some time, for way too many hours. But I will tell you, one of the things I didn't do when I first started playing was I never played a Shaman. So I thought World of Warcraft Classic has come out. My buddy War has slowly plucked enough heartstrings to make me want to play again. I am typically Forsaken. That is, I love the Forsaken characters. That's my jam, but you can't play a Shaman for Forsaken. So I am making one here for us to play. I'm going to shut up while we do the thing. So actually you can see, I started a mage. This is on Arahli, which is just ridiculously hard to get into all the time. So don't be surprised if you see me streaming and it's not this character. I'm gonna keep playing a little bit here and there. I am not gonna let myself get to where it was before, because I played way too long, or way too many hours. But you know, hey, if you guys have never seen World of Warcraft, welcome to the old school game. Let's check it out.
The vicious trolls that populate the numerous jungle isles of the South Seas are renowned for their cruelty and dark mysticism.
Yeah.
Barbarous and superstitious, they carry a seething hatred for all other races. Long since exiled from its ancestral homeland in Stranglethorn Vale, the Darkspear tribe was nearly destroyed by rampaging Murlocs.
Stupid Murlocs.
Rescued by the young war chief Thrall and his orcish warriors, the Darkspear tribe swore allegiance to the Horde. Led by the cunning shadow hunter Vol'jin, the Darkspears now make their home in Durotar, along with their orcish allies. As one of the only surviving Darkspears, it falls to you to reclaim the glory of your tribe.
All right, so this is the very beginning, and this is a couple days after they started this. So you can see there's a lot of characters here, which is nice. It's very populated. If you have never seen World of Warcraft before, you're crazy. But but that's just, this is a real old school game for this kind of stuff. The draw for me, I guess, has always been the community. So when I first played back in the day, I had a nice guild. A lot of my coworkers played, so we would play for hours on end every single night. It is not a modern MMO in any way anymore. Like, things are definitely not amazing. Like, the graphics are not beautiful, but hey, it's fun. Vol'jin is probably my second favorite. Like, I like Thrall a lot, but Sylvanas has always been my favorite of like the tribe chiefs, or the, you know, but Vol'jin's pretty sweet. So yeah, I thought we'd try a troll out. We could have done an orc to be a shaman as well, but I thought, you know, let's play with some troll action here. So here's where I can kind of show you old school, right? Like, you actually have to read all of this. No,
Go forth to victory.
I already have, so it's cool, man. If you guys want to read, you can pause it, take a look. But yeah, so back in the day, when this first came out, like it was this really cool push to kind of open things up, and like I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out with this. We're gonna do some customization right off the back. This is our attack button. We don't need that. You can right click and attack targets when you do that kind of stuff. So we're not gonna worry about that piece right now. Doing our first quest. There it is. So now I gotta kill some mottled boars.
Strength.
This is the essence of all World of Warcraft, is killing a bunch of stuff over and over again. I don't know if I can learn his yet. No, I can't yet. Okay, another thing you'll see a lot of us will change is the interface options. There's a bunch of action bars. I like to turn on most of mine and kind of keep them on. because this is kind of a place where it's going to let you add more things as we go. I am a slacker and don't ever use those things, so even though we have them, I mean I do, but not often enough to keep on my bars. And screen real estate is a bit limited, so you're going to see us kind of play with some of this. I'm going to try really hard not to do any of the add-ons. That is something that it's very much a World of Warcraft kind of deal. There's lots of things to make this overview, or this interface work much better, and that is definitely part of the game to me. But I kind of, with Classic, I kind of want to roll old school. So the Shamans are, oh boy, this is always the hard part here. Look, so many people playing that finding boars is going to be rough. But it's kind of the cool, like the cool thing about the Shamans to me is that, you know, they're all based in the elements, right? Oh, level up, Grunts. Oh, let me go talk to Mr. Dark Spiritual over here. But so like it's cool because you're gonna kind of learn all the bits and pieces of the elements, and you kind of get these little totems and stuff you put down. It's gonna be pretty neat. You okay there, buddy? So we gotta go kill a thing, which we're definitely not high enough level to do that quite yet because we haven't done anything. Quick, a boar. So you can see how I have a little sword icon now. If you right click, it'll do the auto attack. That's why I took that off our bar. Let's do some smashy smash. My little bar can be interrupted. It's a channeling thing. I really hope you guys have seen. Oh, I need to turn that on too. Okay, interface options. I don't remember what it's under. Control, auto loot. It's important to have. That'll automatically loot things when you open that screen. I don't think anything else needs to be changed yet. We'll make sure when we get to it. So the other thing I thought I would tell you is that, oh, wrong button. If you guys have heard Fox and I in videos and stuff say "down by the beach, man," that's because of this. It's not actually ever said in the game as far as I know. It's just we were talking. Oh, did I not turn that on? We were talking about Vol'jin before, and that always just seemed like a funny thing that we kind of expected him to say. All right, let's get back into the game, man. This is a World of Warcraft was the reason we won't be making videos of this all the time is that it's a lot of work. There's a lot of hours that go into grinding away levels and that kind of stuff. And while I will probably enjoy the nostalgia in playing, I can't quite imagine everyone else is going to be quite as happy to just watch me run around killing boars. So we'll probably be doing more of this as a streaming thing if we do it. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna do still. Like I get this thing where like I'll feel the nostalgia for an MMO, and I'll feel the draw to kind of play another MMO. And like about once a year, I'll go through and download like 3 or 4 different MMOs to try out, just to see if I can kind of get the feel that I want and that I can enjoy it again and be excited about a game. And the MMOs are a real tough genre to kind of keep the interest through the grind for, you know? Like, grinding in things like Ark and Atlas, they don't bother me at all. And neither does it. Doesn't bother me in MMOs either, but it's one of those things that, like, if it feels like it's just logging in and clicking a bunch because you have to, it takes a lot of the fun out of that for me. So, can I wear those? I can wear those. You know, it can get a little draining. So, what has always kept World of Warcraft kind of working for me when I do decide I want to play that is the story. Like, I really enjoy the story that kind of goes on behind this. The Blizzard does a great job with their lore aspect. It's what they make characters that are ding, level 2. They make characters that are identifiable, and they have cool character traits and stuff like that. Later on, they got a little crazy with some of that stuff. It's the reason I haven't played a lot of the expansions. But I think it's generally a pretty, like, they have a pretty in-depth story that kind of goes into a lot of this stuff. and the world feels a little bit more lived in because of that. Kill it. Ooh. Can I wear that too? Oh, I'm getting so fancy now. Just need one more. One more little piggy. I cannot wear chain boots. Unfortunately. Wait, this is 14 armor? What did I put on? Oops. Why would I change that? Oh, go back to that. It's way better. So yeah, I mean, I have a hard time imagining people watching this that have never played World of Warcraft, don't know about it. So let me just, in case, kind of get the basics. So, you got your chat window down here that will be hilarious at some point, probably. You'll probably see things you shouldn't read, so I apologize if you do. It is, you know, you've got your abilities and stuff, and each class does their own thing. There's professions that you'll learn that let you make, like, craft materials and stuff like that. This is just, I don't know, it's old school fun, man. I'm just gonna
Blood and thunder.
sell a bunch of stuff real quick because I don't need it. Plus, we're gonna need some monies to learn our abilities and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you guys have probably seen the South Park episode and all the other silly stuff with World of Warcraft and this kind of stuff in general.
Sug.
It is a lot of it's a lot of
For the Horde.
reading this
and
stuff,
honor.
see what your rewards are going to be,
Forth to victory.
going out to murder things. Should be able to. This is our Shaman trainer.
Greetings.
Give her that so she knows I am a shaman as well.
Farewell.
And now I can be taught the ways to do. What is this? Do I not have? Oh, I need more. I need level 4 anyways. So Rock Biter is a enhancement that we can do to our weapons. So I'm gonna put that down here. And now when I hit that, my melee attacks with that will do more damage, which is nice. Okay.
Look round.
So we're pretty much just gonna gather up all the stuff we can learn and do, and then go do stuff. The other thing you can do too, this is our little quest log. If we do shift and click on those, left click, then they show up on the right hand side to kind of be our quest tracker. That is one of the things that add-ons definitely make better. Because they show up little arrows on your map, and you got things on the mini map that show you what you're doing. Without that, you're left to do the horrible thing of having to read this to tell you where to go. So, like, because all the times, like, anytime you read this kind of stuff, it kind of tells you where to go find them. And then you have to go find them and do your thing. Oh, can I do... Oh, boy. Nope, I can't do Former yet. I will tell you one of my favorite things about the starting area here is the peons that are kind of all over the place. The orc peons that are doing work. I just enjoy clicking on them to hear them talk. Do you hear this? Yeah, do you click on them?
Be busy. Leave me alone. Something need doing?
Something need doing?
What do you want?
I love, my favorite is I'm not that kind of orc.
Me not that kind of orc.
I don't know what it is about those peons, man, but I love those guys. Alright, so we need to get some scorpion worker tails and a vile familiar. I don't want to get too far into the familiar one because we do have one of the things that modern MMOs I think did a little better than World of Warcraft is they group their quests better, right? So like instead of right now this little cave deal up here, we're gonna have to go into this like 3 or 4 times. Modern MMOs, like the more modern ones, you don't have to do that. Like when you get going, when you're going, all of your quests are there at one time. You experience it the one time, you go back and you're good to go. Not the case in World of Warcraft. So, like, if you don't know where all the quests are and you don't know exactly what you're looking for, you'll have to do like the same area over and over again. Which you grind levels and you get stuff to make, you know, to kind of keep progressing. But it's one of those things that, like, today I find that annoying compared to some of the older stuff, or the newer stuff. I mean. What? Don't miss that. Alright, so you see we're counting our stuff down on the side. I'm going to try to get all the vile familiars out here. That way we don't have to delve into the cave until we need to actually delve into the cave. Got our tail like we needed. I think that I saw a belt, which we don't have on yet, so I'll put a belt on. That's 5 armor. That's 5. Okay. So I will say that I was I've been a little surprised that you can see the status effects up here, by the way. So we got a little poison going. It's always surprising me, like when I'm talking to other gamers and stuff now, to see like who played or didn't play World of Warcraft. It's one of those like foregone conclusions to me because it's something that I considered so iconic at the time. But like I just kind of assumed that everybody plays World of Warcraft, and they may not wear that on their sleeve, but I just kind of assumed that everyone did, which is obviously a very silly thing to think. But because of the it's always surprising though to see like who played what. It's one of those things that like people are very, you know, Horde or Alliance, or they're very specific races and that kind of stuff. I jokingly am always giving people a hard time about how the Forsaken is the only race anyone should ever play, and that they are the best.
It is too far away.
Oh, so one of the other thing too, range-wise, if you see, so I see in there, see how it's a red number 1 over here? That turns white. That's the easy way to tell if you're in range. But, you know, it's a very harsh line between Horde and Alliance players, and people are very much about what they play. It's just fun. I think it's some good-natured ribbing that kind of goes on there. So many people out here. So there's pros and cons too to having so many people in the starter zones and that kind of stuff. The biggest pro is that if you do need help, like you can just quickly form groups to get things done, right? So like if I wanted to right now, I could probably just invite all these people to groups, right? Everyone would see. And when that happens, like all of us get credit for anything else the other person's doing. So like if someone else kills one of those vile familiars, I get credit for it, as long as we're within a certain range of each other. Things like this, we're doing the worker tail. It doesn't work quite as well for that, because you have to loot the bodies to get that stuff, right? And the way it works is when you're in like a group, it numbers off which ones you can get. So like if I got that one, I couldn't get the next one, right?
I need to get closer.
It would go to whoever was like next in line for pieces or for looting at that point. Unless it's like a quest item, like you have to have, like if they only drop 1 for a boss battle, like that, those drop for everybody usually. Level up. All right. So, yeah, lots of killing stuff, which, I mean, hey, World of Warcraft, I'm down with that. Oh. You gonna get that one? It's coming to get you. I got your back. I got your back. Cold corned rice. Oh, whatever. Oh, you resisted my lightning, you jerk. And then, you know, now that we're like level, like on par with each other's levels, they get harder and harder to beat. So it's a little bit higher than me, obviously, but which makes sense, right? The higher level something is, the harder it hits you. That's how it works. I'd like to grab a level or a training before we go take on the Sarkoth, but we'll probably just swing that way once we're done with some other stuff. We're using the same thing over and over again. It's a little annoying. Can't wear chain yet. So in different classes can only wear certain stuff. It's like mages can wear cloth. Right now we can wear leather or cloth. Level 40 we'll be able to actually be able to learn how to wear chainmail, which I always thought was funny that you like suddenly learn how to wear, learn how to wear a different kind of armor. So we won't get to this until we're like level 10. But we've got different. Nice thing about shamans, they can wear shields, which gives us some good defenses. There's different there's different talents and stuff we can kind of work, and there's different trees we can work down to do different things. So like with shamans, there's enhancement, which means you kind of modify a bunch of stuff all the time. There's I just want to call it resto because that's what it's called, but restoration, which is like the healing tree, and then I've already forgot the other one's called, the one that we're in right now. Elemental. So we can be elemental, which is all of this stuff. Now, and you'll learn the basic talents from a lot of them. Hello, guy. We'll learn the basic talents from a lot of these just by playing the game. Like you level up stuff and you learn them automatically. But like you specialize into those other talents once you get to level 10, you get to start that path. And one of the things that this one does, we got nothing on for the chest right now. Okay. Old school, WoW, like we're in right now, you learned one specialization. That's it. That's how it worked. If you wanted to trade out because you know your group was doing a raid and they needed an extra healer, you had to go pay your trainer to like forget all the stuff you had before and relearn all the new stuff instead, which was great. Like you had to be committed to your role a little bit. I do appreciate the playability changes that we get later on in like more modern stuff, where you get to like dual spec and you can kind of play, you know, you can have two different layouts essentially to work on stuff. It does make it much easier to kind of just play whenever you want to and with whoever you want to play with. But you gotta kind of like the commitment you had to make. Like, you know, if I wanted to be a healer, I gotta be a resto shaman. There is no, I can't be an enhancement shaman that's doing healing. I can, but it's not good. Alright, almost done on these guys and get some scorpions after this. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of the, like this. It's right back in the fields, man. Like, you know, I'd have buddies from work. We would. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I'm gonna tell you a story. Hold on. Okay, look, back in the day when I first started playing, I had just moved to California with my girlfriend, and I was working at Lowe's, and like day 2 of me being at that store, one of the other workers, one of the other manager people that works there, came up to me and said, "Hey, I heard, I've never talked to this guy before, right?" Just walks up, like pops up out of an aisle, is like, "Oh, hey, like, I heard you and your girlfriend, you're both gamers." I was like, yeah, we both like video games. It's a lot of fun. And he says, inventory management meta, here it comes. I can't wear those, but I can sell them for decent amounts. Let's get rid of this stuff. Looty loots. So he's like, you guys should, it's like, we got a little guild. You guys should join us in World of Warcraft. I'm like, ooh, yeah, no, I can't do that. He's like, what do you mean you can't do that? And I was like, look, man, I know how I am with some video games. Like, that game has the potential for me to never stop playing.
I cannot carry anymore.
Like I might just play that way too much. I might get addicted. That's kind of what I said. You know, I told him I got one of the, like, I know that's a part of my personality for certain types of games. Like, I get a little too deep into him. And he's like, it's cool, man. There's like 10 of us that play here. There's a couple other at other stores. Got a nice little guild going. Just join us. You and the girlfriend, it'll be a great time. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what. I'll tell the girlfriend about it. But I can't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. So he's like, all right, just let me know. I was like, okay. So I go home that night, you know, make dinner. Tell the girlfriend, like, hey, I know we kind of just got here. I, talked to another associate today, wants us to play World of Warcraft because, there's a guild and me and his girl play too, and it'd be a great time, he says. And I was like, I mean, it's a horrible idea, obviously, because I know how I am. We definitely shouldn't do that. And she looked at me deadpan and was like, I think we should. I was like, but...
Inventory is full.
Ooh, I might need those. What do I got on? Pants that are 14. Those are 17. 4. What is this? 32 armor. 32. Okay, take this. Take that. Okay. But she said we should do that. We should definitely play that. And I was like, you don't understand. We're going to be doing this forever. I'm going to be paying a lot of money every month, and I won't be able to stop playing because of the way my brain works. She's like, it'll be fun. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I cannot carry anymore.
Man, I'm gonna make some more room for some boots. Okay, let's get some boots. We started playing. Surprise, surprise. And just like I said, it was years and years of playing this game. Which, don't get me wrong, I loved all of it. It was a great time. But I didn't sleep very much. I'd get home from work, make dinner, we'd play some together, we'd watch some TV together, and then she'd go to sleep, and I would not. And I would stay up for another couple hours and keep playing some World of Warcraft because I had some leveling to get done, and I played it more. I played with the guild more than she did, so that's just how it worked. I spent a lot of time doing that. And like I said, it's great, but it's one of those games that if you are not cautious, you can definitely get sucked into and maybe not come back out. So those joking stereotypes about the kind of nerds that play World of Warcraft, I'm one of them, and there are many of us that may not always have the best ability to get out of those things. So just, if you decide to dive into something like this, like maybe just be aware kind of what you're doing, like I said, I know this about my personality. I know, I can't only those, that. I know that there are some things for me that are, that it's possible for me to go way down the rabbit hole.
I cannot use that yet.
Oh, it's male. Whoops. 21 armor? Please. Oh, look at that. So, like, you have to know what you can or can't do, I would be playing this in moderation because of that. Like, because I know who I am, and I know kind of how that works for me. And you just kind of got to work around that kind of stuff. You got to know what works or doesn't work for you. Alright, see, this is going to send us right back into that cave. That's why I was saying we don't want to go just running in there if we don't have to.
Hey there.
Alright, and this guy's going to get me ready to actually do the earth stuff.
Glory to the Horde.
We can learn Earth Shock, which is important.
Go with honor.
The nice thing about Earth Shock is it is an interrupt, which means if someone is casting a spell at me, I can use that to stop them, perhaps. And I think what we're going to do here...
What do you need?
Turn this bad boy in. I'll just get that because we can. I think for our little basic introduction, we'll just say, look at this. Hold on, I want you to see what I'm trying to do here. I just realized I was trying to like look into the light, just like we do in Ark and stuff, to kind of do the last thing with the character. So, yeah, I think we're gonna call that an end of the episode. The first one. Welcome to World of Warcraft Classic. If you've never played it before, here it is. They do some other dances, by the way, which I think is funny. Oops. Oh, okay, that's the dance she does. All right. Yeah, so like I said, I'll probably end up streaming this. This is kind of low-key going to be in the background for me. I'm going to kind of just play this when I feel like, playing a little bit. If I want to lose a couple hours, I'm going to play something like this. Got other stuff going on, obviously, but I just thought I'd say hi, welcome, you guys haven't ever played, you'll be a chance if you want to watch some of this. If you don't, that's cool too. Like I said, don't be surprised if you see this character versus another one. I've got another troll on a different server that I can log into most of the time, and I'm going to kind of just circle in between whichever one works when I do want to stream or play. So yeah, and hopefully at some point we'll kind of meet up with some other Geeks, because the Geeks Patreon stuff, we're definitely going to work on some of that silly stuff too. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for checking out World of Warcraft Classic. Little walk down memory lane with Arahli here. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like below. You can always subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you on the flip side.